Sorry, Bunny. My horns are growing in, so my voice is gonna sound a little different. Hope you don't mind. In the last episode, Guinevere is abducted due to King Arthur's incompetence, and a shoddy search party is dispatched, comprised of Gawain and some no-names. Also the title character, who is unnamed. Oh my god, you guys will never guess who it is. While en route, our titular character finds himself riding in a shame wagon, all the way to a posh Airbnb, where he attempts to sleep in a Tempur-Pedic bed that is off limits to basic bitches. And now, our story continues. The unnamed knight is catching some Z's, but at midnight, a flaming lance comes down from the rafters and almost pins the knight's thighs to the bed. His thighs, yes, we'll go with that. And he does like what anyone would do in such a situation. He just casually pats the fire out and throws the lance into the hallway, and he just lays back down and goes to sleep. Like you do. The next morning, mass is held, and afterwards, the knight is looking winsomely out the window, while the lady who is hosting them chit-chats with Sir Gawain. As they're chillin', a funeral procession passes by, led by a knight and a beautiful lady on his left. I'll bet you'll never guess who the beautiful lady is. When aforementioned hot lady is out of sight, the knight, who is staring dreamily at her, almost falls out the window. But Gawain catches him like, "Yo, don't
Unalive,
bruh!" And the lady is like, better to
unalive,
than to live on as a cart hoe. But even though she wishes him dead,
unalive,
she hooks him up with a horse and some gear. She's a nice lady after all. The knight and Sir Gawain head out after the funeral procession. But I guess it was really fast because they were gone, baby gone. So the knights enter a forest because, if I know my RPGs, adventure is always either in a forest or a cave. So they have the right idea. As they're strolling through the wood, they run into a lady who is there for reasons and ask for directions. And she's like, "I'll give you directions, but only if you give me whatever I want." This is reasonable. I need to do this the next time a stranger asks me for directions. And people in this world are really quick to agree to these sort of arrangements because, they basically are like, okay. Gawain practically pulls a butthead all.
Any way you want it, baby.
Lancelot is less thrilled. He's taken, obviously, even if it's only in his mind. So they swear to the, reasonable agreement. And she tells them about the whole shebang, which she somehow knows. Malignant, which is totally not a play on malignant, a knight and son of the King of Gorre, Bademagu, stole the Guinevere and all manner of peeps from Arthur's court and elsewhere, and he's keeping them in bondage. But the only way to get to his castle is to enter through two super dangerous ways, a water bridge and a sword bridge. Our unnamed knight is like, pick whichever, I don't give a shit. Gawain, smartly, chooses the water bridge, and the unnamed knight takes the sword bridge route. He really gives no Fs. The lady responds, "I get a favor whenever I want from each of you." And they're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So they split up and go their separate ways. On the unnamed knight's journey, he gets thirsty and starts daydreaming about the queen. By mid-afternoon, he comes to a river where there's a knight and a lady hanging out. The knight's horse is thirsty for water, while the knight is thirsty for something else, because he's still in La La Land when his horse charges towards the river. The other knight's a bit disturbed by, this knight bum-rushing him and all, while he's chilling with his lady. So he's like, "You can't cross this frickin' river!" But our knight's thirsty times 3, so he's kind of busy with those porno vids in his head. He doesn't hear or notice anything. As his horse leaps into the river and starts drinking, the river knight comes on his horse all like, "I'm the juggernaut, bitch!" and absolutely face quakes our knight. The nameless knight gets up like, "What's your problem, guy?" And the other dude is like, "Are you serious?" And they just start trash talking and grandstanding until our knight grabs the river knight, for God's sakes, why can't they have names, by the leg, and just kind of holds him, I guess. So they're at a stalemate. But they agree to a timeout so they can both be mounted and can bludgeon each other like gentlemen. So they set up like chess pieces, and the battle is on. River Knight busts our knight's lance, but our knight knocks River Knight off of his horse. Yeah, I know he's a cow in this version, just suspend your disbelief. Then they fight on foot with swords, and our dude is pissy that it's taking so long to kill this guy. He really wants to get back to his tame dreams. But anyways, he wins, of course. And he's about to kill the dude who dares interrupt his mind wanking when the lady suddenly remembers that she's in the story and begs for mercy, as does the River Knight. And our knight is like, "Fine, but you have to be my prisoner." And the lady, who I guess is actually the directions lady from earlier, is like, Release him and make him my prisoner instead, and I'll reward you sometime later." And she's a bit bummed. She really wanted a better deal out of this whole arrangement, but oh well. So that weirdness out of the way, our knight just kind of leaves. He bumps into another hot lady. They are like flies in this world. And she's like, "I have an Airbnb nearby, but payment is only an ass, grass, or cash. But never mind the grass or cash." And our knight is like, "I'm gay." But even though he's devoted to one lady only, he also hates sleeping in the dirt. So he agrees to putting out for shelter, and they head to her place. Meanwhile, he's thinking, "Oh no, I'm so awesome, she won't be able to get over me. Whatever shall I do?" Life is hard. Well, at least the nice thing is that this lady totally lives in a penthouse suite with a moat and everything. And when they enter, the place is already arranged. Like, the wine is out, all the guest towels are set up, but nobody's there. I guess the house elves did it, I don't know. So she wines and dines him until evening. Then she tells him, go outside for a while. Not that she needs to arrange a clever ruse or anything. And to come to her when the time is right for their agreement. And our knight's like, "Okay." He goes outside and I guess enters sleep mode for an hour or something. Before he pops back into reality, it goes in and looks for her, but she's nowhere to be found. But he's loyal to his word. "I gotta find this chick I don't want to have sex with, I guess." So he continues to look around. And I think that's a good stopping point for the time being. How are y'all enjoying the story? We're only about 10 pages into an 80-page story. Oh God, what have I gotten myself into? Anyways, look forward to part 3 sometime in the future. Maybe this year, maybe next, I don't know.